Hi there, welcome to the Nomadic Owl Oracle for my second month of doing readings. This is going to be for the month of February 2019 for the zodiac sign of Leo. This is a general reading, so it's not going to be specific as far as referring to love, career, finances, anything such as that. It is something that you would know what it resonates with and if it resonates for you as you listen to it. Also, please keep in mind that the timing for this is fluid, so it could apply during the month, prior to the month, or after the month. You'll know when you hear this if this is for you. Another thing I like to point out, guys, is I read in energy. I don't read in sexes unless I state that it is referring to a specific sex. There are men and women that watch my readings, and I try to be as neutral as possible because I don't want anybody to be offended or think that I'm favoring one sex over another. So please keep that in mind. Another thing is I like to be honest that I do cuss at times. So if that's not something that you like to hear, please go ahead and click off. I'm not going to monitor all my words. I want to give you the most fluid, the most natural reading I possibly can. And I do like to talk to you like I would talk to my friends. Just being real. So that's not everybody's cup of tea. I'm aware of this. I am new to this, and I'm doing this to help people. I'm not doing this for anybody to think that I'm the best in the world or anything like that. My pure intention is solely to help people and give them straight up advice that's honest and real. Another thing I'd like to tell you guys is I go ahead and I meditate and I pray over the cards and do my rituals before I start the readings. I like to sit with the cards ahead of time. That way I can see the energy, feel the energy, and give you any information that I'm given. The first thing that I do in my readings is give you my intuitive take, and then from there I will read from the book what the actual meanings are. That's my dog Maya in the back. She's hanging out with us right now. So I do apologize if you see my animals during the reading, but I live in a small space, so they are going to be present at times. Another thing that I want to tell you is what decks that I use for today. The first deck that I'm using is the Myths and Mermaids, and then also the Oracle of the Mermaids. And the reason that I'm using these decks is this is for the month of February. It's the month of love and passion and romance and all that shit. So mermaids are known for being lovely and having love, and people adore them and being magical and all that. So I felt like this would apply greatly to the situation. Plus, I wanted to do something that was more Valentine's-y. I don't really have any love decks at this moment, so I felt like this might help some people because a lot of people do like romantic readings. That's not personally something that I do right now unless it's a personal read. However, I want to try to accommodate everybody the best that I can. So guys, before I get started, I want to let you know that I've already sat with these. I shuffled them. I got them ready. This is going to apply to either a sun, moon, or rising sign. If you're not familiar with what your sun, moon, and rising signs are, I would highly suggest to go on to Google and check that out, or also Cafe Astrology to find out that information. Please keep in mind this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everybody. Okay, so for the overall energy of the month, guys, you have the first card is the Haunted Mermaid. And what she's talking about in the reverse is that you're worried about how other people are going to see you, how you're coming across in a situation. It's a time that people are watching your moves and watching what you're doing, and they're not really vibing with it possibly. You need to stop letting that bother you. You need to be your authentic self and just be true to you. Do what makes you happy. Be who you truly are. Whether people like it or not, you're going to thank yourself and be happy that you did, because, when we often subdue to other people's wishes and demands and we're hiding our true authentic self, sometimes we become very depressed. I know me personally, I don't like hiding who I am. I don't like having to be something I'm not. I want to be me. And people are either going to accept me or they're not. It is what it is. I know that I'm living my highest life. I'm doing the best that I can with my life and being as positive as I possibly can. That's all it amounts to. So keep that in mind. There's always going to be people that have opinions on what you're doing, how you look, how you're moving about through your life. But it's up to you if you let that bother you or not. My theory is the people that truly matter are going to accept me as I am. The people that don't, they're going to hate on me no matter what I do. They're going to disapprove of what I do no matter what I do. I will say that when I was younger, I used to hide that I had these abilities. I used to hide who I was because I didn't want people to know. There's my cat Kenai. I used to hide all kinds of different things because I was scared of how people would react to it. I didn't want the negative outcome because, you know, I did tarot. People thought I was a witch and they said I was satanic and all this crazy shit that wasn't true. So I am a Cancer Leo. I have both signs. I totally relate to this. There's going to be things that people agree with, things that they don't. It's your life. Live your life, man. So the next card that you have is the Sea Chariot. However, it's in the reverse. So this is speaking of a time that you need to make sure that you're taking control of your situation. Maybe things are not going the way that you want them to go. You know, generally when the Chariot arrives in a reading, it talks about moving forward positively. But this is in the reverse. So maybe things have been not moving the way that you want them to. They're kind of blocked or they're kind of stasis in a point where you don't know what the fuck's going on and you're trying to figure it out. So keep in mind that is the overall energy of the month, you know? You're just kind of like, what do I do? How do I appear to people? How are they seeing me? What is best for you is what's important. What makes you happy is what's important. The next card that you guys have for the meaning is Atlantis. It says rapid development, excellence, and success. So when I think of Atlantis, I think of a civilization of people that were very highly educated, very intuitive, very psychic, very healing, very nurturing, mermaids, things like that. They used crystals. They used different auric energies and things like that to be able to help others. They were very smart. They brought about a lot of information to a lot of different societies. A lot of people don't know this, but the Atlantis and also Lemuria, the Mer people, they used to work with Native Americans and other different tribes to provide them with wisdom and different things like that. It is believed, if you believe in this type of thing, that they did that to help with different, you know, technologies and things such as that. So people could move forward and have the tools and guidance that they needed. Can you give me 1 second? Kenai. I'm sorry, my cats are like wrestling and being crazy. I apologize if you heard that. So the next card that you have, guys, is telepathy. And this card speaks of being able to, you know, talk to someone without words, being able to know what someone's thinking, being able to, you know, vibe with somebody and be like on the same level, even though you're not using words, being able to understand a situation or a certain reason something happened. You just know it's part of you. It's intuitive, your third eye, it's your guides, your creator, God, whatever you want to call it, giving you the information that you need at this time to be able to do what it is that you're trying to do. After that, guys, you have a really good card. It's for February. It says falling in love. So this card says kissing the divine in another and in yourself. When you see this card, falling in love. So it doesn't have to be a sexual romantic relationship. It could be a relationship with yourself, that you're honoring the divine in another. You're honoring their spirit, their light, their abilities, their knowledge. I'm sorry, my cats. Their knowledge and their, you know, personality, their traits, the things that they do, the way of being. Whether it's you personally that you're loving on yourself or you're loving on another person because you feel that they're a great person and you like being around them. This could be, you know, like a friendship. It could be a job. It could be, you know, like I said, honoring yourself, or it could be like romance and you're actually finally finding somebody that you vibe with, somebody that you have a good connection with, that you're able to build on and have the things that you want to have in your life. And then for the final outcome that we have for the month, it says adrift. And this card says letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. So when this card comes up in a reading, guys, I'm sorry, my hair's crazy. When this card comes up in a reading, what this is talking about is being able to just chill, sit back, relax, stop trying to control shit. Just let things happen naturally. Let them flow at their own pace. Don't try to force things. When you try to force things and you try to push things to be what you want them to be, then sometimes it's going to conflict and have issues with other people. Sometimes people are going to be resistant to that. Sometimes what other people want, you don't want. So just be chill. Woosah, like live and breathe. Let yourself be guided by the situation, by your intuition, by what you know, what you're shown, what you feel in your heart. Let that be your guide. So that is my intuitive take on these cards prior to me reading what the actual meanings are, guys. I am about to start reading the meanings from the books for you. And so for the first card, the Hotly Mermaid, I'm going to show you the card again. She was in the reverse. So it says that the meaning of this card is, bear with me, guys. It says, just be yourself. You are overly concerned with how others see you, and this leads you to make unsound decisions. Focus less on how your physical appearance and your most minute actions are viewed by the public. Relax and just be yourself. So like I was saying, fuck what everybody else thinks, man. If you're happy and you're living your truest life and you're doing what brings you joy and peace and you're being a good person, then who cares what other people think? People are going to judge you because they're jealous of you, they want what you have, or something like that. If people are negative and putting you down and making you feel like you're not good enough, then it's not the type of people that you want to have around you. If they're dragging you down and they're not on your level, then it's time to move on. Live in your highest light. Live in your highest being. Do what you feel is good for you and what you feel brings you the most happiness and peace and love and light into your life. So the next card that you have after that was the Sea Chariot, but this one was also in the reverse, guys. So I'm going to show you the card again. This one says, in the reverse, it says, step back with grace. You are being too controlling in some areas of your life. Your friends, family, and associates may be too polite to mention it, or you are overlooking the signs, but the truth remains. You are being domineering beyond the point of assertiveness. Look at yourself in the proverbial mirror and figure out where you need to take a step back and then graciously do so. So if you've been trying to control a situation and people are not reacting the way that you want them to, it might be because you're being a little bit overbearing. Maybe you're not realizing it. And maybe you're trying to control it because you're scared of what's going to happen and you don't want to miss out on a certain opportunity or whatever the case may be. And, you like being in control because if you're steering the situation, then it's going to be this way and that way. You can't control what other people do. You can't control how they see you. You need to just chill. Just chill and let it be. We can't always control everything in our lives. We can't always predict everything in our lives. Me doing this reading is to help you. I want to help people. So that's what this is saying to you, is that you're being too worried about how other people see you. You're trying to control the situation too much, and you're not letting yourself the time and the space that you need to be able to breathe and just take everything in. So the next card that you have after this, guys, was Atlantis. All right, so Atlantis says rapid development, excellence, and success. So bear with me one second. It says, a feeling of connection to crystals, to sea creatures, to being able to heal and work with people telepathically. You had that card too, that's so crazy. An urgent desire to do something more meaningful with your life. Past life memories as an Atlantean or even a dolphin, dugong, which is a manatee pretty much, guys. It's just the species, the manatee, or other sea creature that's surfacing. Learning to swim, dive, mermaid, scuba, dive, and desire to be beneath the waves. Connection to the ancient sacred sites. feelings of bliss, connection, and higher powers and abilities returning to you. A sense of being at one with angels, animals, wizards, and all. A wonderful variety of beings in your life who have so much in common with you. Greater powers of communication, less fear, and feeling you have great abilities and fearlessly exploring them, perhaps for the first time in this lifetime. Not being so concerned with making a mistake, a sharpening of abilities, an appreciation of science, the desire to experiment and develop abilities, the astonishment of seeing how quickly you can advance, flow, high vibrations, sophistication, logic, and brilliance are being heightened at this time. So what this is saying is, you're gaining all this new knowledge, all this new wisdom, all these abilities that maybe you have not allowed yourself to have. You have not allowed yourself to honor because you've been scared of how other people are going to see you. But damn it, if you're given a ability, if you're given a power, or you're given a knowledge, and you know in your heart, in your intuition, that something is what it is, or you know that this is good for you and other people don't see it, go with your intuition. Don't let anybody ever tell you that your intuition is craziness. Your intuition is your higher self trying to talk to you. It's your angels, God, creator, whatever you believe in, trying to be there for you to direct you in the direction that you feel. Sometimes, though, our ego steps in and it gets us all fucked up because we're sitting here worried about what other people are going to say, what they're going to see. You know what? Sometimes it's best just to take a different route, to go the way that you feel is going to be better for you. And it might be completely different than what you're used to and what other people are used to. But now is a time of change, of great rapid growth, of good things coming into your life. Don't block that. Then the next card that you guys have is telepathy. It says nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, mind reading. So this is that card. Bear with me as I look this up. Okay, so this card says, if you receive this card, you may be one of the people who feel lost when it comes to words, or less open to have conversations as they seem to never express what it is that you feel so deeply in your life. You prefer to let your energy shine through and speak for you. Many people are labeled with medical terminology if they are silent, when in fact they are constantly communicating, just in ways that are advanced, subtle, and yet ancient. They are often open-energied and communicate effectively and are in harmonious attunement with animals, plants, crystals, and song, more so than with conversation. And the jousting of competitive turn, much of that we can take. You may also find yourself connecting telepathically with memories stored in crystals, trees, and sacred sites. You can too connect with your telepathy, and true wisdom by connecting with these sacred spaces, crystals, and trees. Huge bodies of waters like the Pacific are brimming with energies and memories, and you are one who can read them and one who can speak the language of the energy. So I'm going to point this out, guys. You have Atlantis. It said telepathy in that fucking card, okay? So the mer people were known to be able to be telepathic, to know things, to see things, to be able to help people and communicate in a different way. Now you have the card telepathy. It mentions in it the Pacific Ocean, okay? The Pacific Ocean, I live in the Seattle area. The Pacific Ocean was known where the Lemurians were. The Lemurians worked with the Maori, and also they worked with the Salish tribes of this area to give them information. To Native Americans, this area of Seattle, Washington area is very sacred. It was known as the original orientation of the Native Americans. It's where the world supposedly started. Depending on your religion and things like that, like I said, I believe the Native American spirituality path. That is my beliefs. So this area that I live in is very sacred to many tribes, to many religions. And the energy here, the rocks, the trees, the plants, and things like that hold ancient knowledge, whether you believe that stuff or not. And it might seem like a bunch of juju or whatever the hell you want to call it. When you go somewhere and you feel like you belong there, when you go somewhere and you have these feelings that you're not sure where they're coming from, it's that area, it's that place trying to communicate with you to give you information. And sometimes we try to block that out. Sometimes we're like, oh, I don't know why I felt that, whatever, that was just me being weird. No, you're actually being given information by your angels, by your guides, by Creator, to help you, to steer you, to show you who you are, where you came from, what you need to know. So like what I would recommend to you, if you have time, not everybody's going to be here in the Washington, Seattle area. I would highly suggest spend time in nature, spend time by water. You've had 2 different water things come through, the Atlantis, and you got all these different water things. I mean, yeah, these are mermaid cards, whatever, but water is about emotions, feeling, love, passion, things like that flow. Your intuition, your knowledge, psychic abilities, things like that. So at this time, maybe your psychic abilities, maybe your intuition are highly in tune, and you're being given all this information that you need to acknowledge and let it be. Stop trying to deny it. If you're feeling it, if you're seeing it, and you know it in your heart as true, then let it be what it is. Stop blocking it. Sorry, guys. So the next card that you have is falling in love. It says kissing the divine in another and in yourself. So that is this card, guys. And it's a really pretty picture. It's like a mermaid and an angel. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, so this card says feeling powerful feelings of attraction for another and becoming overwhelmed with feelings of tenderness, almost to the point of feeling more for the other being than for food, drink, and breathing. Feeling powerfully attached to another, seeing the divine within them, and experiencing the divine within yourself is extremely addictive. The beginning of a powerful relationship, which truly has magic within it, the recognition of soul within another. Yet it is also wise to know thyself well and to be able to read your own patterns. Seeking to communicate and to establish a close bond with another, feeling very akin to them, a dissolving of boundaries of self into a kind of one. A time of sweetness, insecurity, beauty, excitement, newness, and uncertainty. Perhaps a time when you are almost certainly very much alive and very much at the end of an ordinary life and approaching what we often call insanity. The space before knowledge, when the idealization of the other is at its height. This card can also signal a desire for sex that is sacred, deeply connective, soul-forging, and powerfully erotic. Sorry, I can't even talk. I'm like, woo, this is kind of heavy. Okay, it says lovemaking that is exquisitely spiritual and sensual. So, guys, if you're dating somebody or about to meet somebody, you got something solid coming in that you're going to have a lot of feelings and it's going to wash over you, and it might be completely different than what you're used to, and you might be scared, but you have to open your heart, open yourself, and let your heart guide you at this time. Stop blocking things. Stop being so set on controlling the situation. Let things happen and flow naturally. And then, guys, for the last card that you have for the reading is Adrift. And what this says is letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. So bear with me as I get this one pulled up. So it says refusing to attempt to change things, allowing yourself to surrender to the situation and see where it takes you. A kind of peaceful passivity. And in an oceanic way, allowing the cycles to make a decision on your behalf. This can indicate, too, that you have no desire to make decisions, only to drift and float and to allow whatever outcome will be. It is as if there is no moving forward and no retreat, just a moment-by-moment acceptance of all that is taking place in a very gentle, almost unpenetrable unwillingness to let the tide and current take you where it will. You are adrift, and you are somehow akin to Odin, hanging onto the tree of life. Will you be taken to shore? Will you remain at sea? Will you fade and vanish? What is it that you should do? That is not even a question you are asking yourself. It seems you have made the powerful choice for suspension, to rest, to not do, for nothingness, for allowing what is around you to determine for now the fate of yourself. So, guys, what this is saying, I mean, overall, I'm going to reiterate some things. Stop worrying about what other people think of you. Let go of control. Accept this knowledge, this insight that you're getting. You can get this insight from songs. This knowledge can come to you in dreams. You can see different signs throughout the day, such as synchronicities is something very big that could be happening to you at this time, where things seem familiar, or it's like somebody says something and it's like it hits you and you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I needed to hear. That was exactly what I needed to see. That's what I needed to feel. Something of that kind of case. Use your intuition, your heart, your guide to lead you, because with a divine love, like it's talking about, is trying to come into your life. If you don't let it flow, you're going to block it. If you're trying to control it, it's not going to be natural. It's not going to turn out the way that it should turn out. So let things flow naturally. Don't try to push and control things, because that's only going to backfire in the long run. So at the end of the month, after all this, what it's saying is you're just going to chill and you're just going to float and let things play out the way that they're supposed to. I hope that all this resonates with you. If it doesn't, please, again, look up your sun, moon, and rising signs to find out more information. Excuse me. Also, if you would like a personal reading, please contact me on here or on my Facebook page. I offer 8-card spreads for $20. There is no time limit on those as well. Another thing I want to say, guys, is if you ever have any questions, please feel free to hit me up on here or on my Facebook page as well, and I will do my best to help you. I hope that you all have a great month and that you work through this and you let yourself be your true, authentic self without worrying about what other motherfuckers think. Be yourself. Live in your highest light and let love in. Have a good month, guys.